Hello, world. How are you today? This is Alicia Marie Balashak, Life Mastery Consultant, your expert guide today on how to move from ordinary thinking into extraordinary thinking. And we are live. We are live coming to you from my living room in Michigan. How are you doing today? How are you all doing? I hope you can join me. I have lots going on today. And if you were in my morning video, you saw some of that. Some of that will be familiar. But I wanted to hop in this afternoon and just share some things, about what's going on in life. Let's take a big breath of life right now, because sometimes that's something we forget to do. Life. One more time. Kind of feel yourself drop into your body. And feel this moment right here, you and me, in a place where we can make a new decision. Whatever has been leading up to this moment, we can make a new decision right now. Right now. It's a brand new moment. We can start fresh. So I would love it if you just gather some of that energy with me and decide here that we're going to take a brand new step and leap into action in a whole new way. That's what I'm here to help share with you today. This morning, I was sharing with people about the idea of how do we move from a reaction into creation. Okay, so some of you maybe are practicing that and sharing that a little bit. So I have been inspired even before today to share more of what I've been doing. And I know that this isn't the only time that I will be coming here, but I want to be sure that you know there are some special things going on. And to start off, just kind of kick off this next few weeks, really, with a bonus live class here available for everyone, so you can have the experience and know that this is your time. Whatever's going on here in this moment is your time. We can move from react into create. So make sure you watch my video this morning. And just as a reminder, the place that we're coming from is a vision-driven place instead of a condition-driven place. And that presents a lot of opportunity for growth. We are challenged, perhaps in the moment, in the given circumstances of everything going on in the world. And we can use this as our platform for growth, believe it or not, if we choose to allow it. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be some challenge or difficult or feel on our human level. We're so conditioned to think about the facts of the situation. So we're going to notice those things, and we're going to have to navigate through those things. So I have some help there for that. But the content of our lives is the curriculum of our evolution. Mary Morrissey is a brilliant transformational coach, psychology counselor, and teacher, and a minister. She has been doing this for over 45 years. She's my master coach, with whom I have studied for almost 4 years now and received my certification from her in 2017. I'm privileged to work and do this work now because I feel like I've been training for this moment for my whole life. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, where you feel like the things you've experienced, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, somehow culminate into some moment where you just know you're here to serve. Well, I want to share with you that that is exactly the experience I've been having. I've been having that call for many, many years and still working my way to find that best way to do that. And so we continue to grow. We continue to move from react to create. And just as a brief recap, if you did miss the morning, we do that by moving the C in react, which is our consciousness, into the forefront of the word. So we have CREAT, and then we add E at the energy, which is our energy at the end. So we move our consciousness to the forefront. We grow ourselves. We become more aware. We be able to come from a different state and a different place. I call it taming the chaos and becoming the eye of the storm. So if you haven't experienced that consistently in your life, know that that is a place where you can get to do that. And then we bring the energy of the day. We bring the energy of what we choose, really. Are we pouring ourselves into our day with energy and pouring ourselves into that which is seeking to express itself ultimately through you and through me? Because this is what life is really about. We're here to create. And so we have just transformed react into create. So there's more brave thinking tools we can use in the process, of course. But I wanted to share that with you because so often we get stuck in this condition-based thinking where we think that the circumstances are happening to us, and on the level of fact, we don't want to do a spiritual bypass. We want to know and honor the situation. There are real and serious things happening. People are getting sick. People are out of work. Kids are at home, and parents suddenly have to find themselves how to juggle work and be an educator. Kids are, of course, feeling the stress because they pick up on our energy as parents. And we're dealing with coworkers maybe in new ways. So how do we connect? How do we stay in alignment? How do we stay positive? How do we do these things while still having the human experience of the full range of emotions that we're here to experience? We're not going to just skip over grief or shock or frustration or even fear. These things are useful feedback tools if we learn how to use them. So know that whatever is presenting itself is here for our evolution if we allow it. It doesn't mean it's going to always be easy, and that's why we need to find a structure of support. There are plenty of ways to support yourself during this time. So I want to invite you into that kind of an idea that we're moving from react into create, and that we can use whatever's seeking to express us through us right now as a new level. So I have written at the beginning of the new year, with no idea that all this would happen, an ebook guide with 20 ideas, activities, suggestions, journaling, processes, different things to walk you through how to move the momentum, get out of inertia and into momentum, take this big leap forward, what I'm calling leap into action. And that is available for free. And I want to encourage you to download that. I also have a mini course that I am designing to go along with it. And I've got content around each of the letters that spell leap, so we can really make a leap forward. And I wanted to start right now, today, with some of that, because I think Mondays at 2:00 is when I'm going to be doing the calls and the recordings. And they're there for you. It's a birthday deal because I just turned 44 on the 13th when kind of my world changed. That's the day that the schools here in Michigan were closed, and I had been planning to launch this. And I had been asking myself for a while, what kind of thing can I do to celebrate this gift of life? And again, I want to remind us to breathe, because not only is it good for us, but there are so many people right now in the world who they're having a hard time breathing, not just because of fear and anxiety, but because they're sick with the COVID-19, right? So it's a very serious disease, and breathing is something that gets seriously impaired. I've done a deep dive into the medical of that, because I'm a journalist as a background, as well as scientist, as well as a transformational coach. So I live at the intersection of my own Venn diagram. You do too. So remember that. And so I happen to be someone who wants to bring high quality information, inspirational insights, and actionable items, really, so that people can know more about themselves, about their world, and what they can do in it, right? Their role, your role in this world to make it a better place, even now, in the middle of everything going on. So that's what I've been called to do. And I've been doing some research on the medical bits of COVID, and it is a disease that when you get it, that you're not going to be able to breathe, and it's very serious, very, very serious. And many people will recover, and many people will need help. So we need to create room in the medical system to be able to do that. That's what we're doing by staying home. And I want to remind you, you are a hero by doing that, by staying home. So, how do we leap forward even in the middle of this? I had planned to launch this on my birthday, Friday the 13th, when everything kind of changed in my world with the school closures here in Michigan. And, pausing and breathing life into what we're doing. So I decided to go ahead, and I want this to be available for you. There's the free download of the Leap into Action Guide. It has 20 items, 20 actions, 20 ideas. They're processes, journaling, actions you can take in the real world to get you out of this stuck energy and move forward. And then we're going to take this and take it to a whole new level with connection, engagement, and content around each of the letters that I've got designed. So we'll spell out LEAP over the 4 weeks. And I wanted to do just a free kind of class today. This is a new platform that I'm using. It's cool. It's called StreamYard. We can do all these amazing things like putting my little tickers up here. And one of the things I want to do while we're doing that is to show you what I'm talking about, okay? So first, let me go over here. Hold on with me while we move this. And again, I invite you, and hopefully you find this not only just extremely valuable, but you find this to be a life-giving experience at a very introductory cost. I want to make sure this is available for everyone that can. There should be no reason you can't participate. And this is my livelihood, so know you're supporting me, my family, and we're all in this together. So I'm inviting you in to take the leap. There is something you can do. There's life seeking to express itself through you right now. So when you go to this website that I've got up there, please just sign up. Be a part of this grand experiment and see where it takes you at the end of 4 weeks. 5 if you count today. But over the next 4 weeks, Mondays at 2 o'clock, I will be doing a call. It can be done by teleconference as well as online. So you can hear, you don't have to be stuck in front of your computer. You can be doing it from your phone when you do your quick walk around the block, keeping your social distance from other people. You can do it from, the comfort of your armchair. You can do it while you're doing other things. So that's that. It's also available on the web. And I will send out the contact information about how to do all of that once you sign up. So we're going to go through live class together over 4 weeks to spell out LEAP and the secret code that I've embedded into that acronym so that we can really start creating the momentum that we desire and move towards these dreams and big ideas, the projects that are seeking to express themselves through you. Now is the best time if you have no reason to commute, if you have suddenly time at home, if you don't want to be turning on the news and drinking in all that negativity and the calamity of the situation at the moment, you have the ability to do something different, to take on a passion project, to create something, to move from this react and into this create state. So we're going to help you do that. What are your dreams? What are your big ideas? What are your projects? And we're going to go through these live classes so that by the end of the 4 weeks, you'll have outlined and walked through a powerful process that you can use again and again to really jumpstart yourself and get into action and get the results you would really love. So I have open enrollment right now, and it's my birthday special for $44 since I just turned 44. And you can pay with either PayPal or you can pay with any card through Stripe. You can go ahead and click that. And why am I doing this? I dreamed this all up before I even came to this coronavirus new world. And then please hear me that we are going through a paradigm shift as a collective conscious, as a human species. We cannot pretend like this is just going to go away and it's going to be normal. There is a new normal that is evolving, and we get to be a part of creating what that will really look like in the end. So it really is time to leap forward and move from condition-based thinking and dream up something new with a new vision. And now more than ever in these uncertain and evolving times, we really do need this extra love, support, and creative confidence so that we're building ourselves and moving in new directions, moving from ordinary into extraordinary. So that's why I really feel called to continue to offer this. So please join me. I would love to see you there. I would love to have you have this experience. And just as a reminder, it's about a 60-minute call. I plan on offering and helping you walk through practices that you can experience to generate a more positive state. You don't have to let fear and condition-based worry or concerns, which all are real on the level of fact. We're not going to skip over them, but we don't have to let that experience have us. We can actually have the experience. We can tame the chaos and have the experience without it having us. So we're going to talk about teachings on the universal success principles that I have used in my own life to transform myself and my experiences, even in the middle of real conditions that I'm dealing with. And these are ones that I'm not only trained in, but I have used with myself and others. And of course, this is so important. We need to have group engagement and support and empowerment. And so that's what I want you to have. Let's get together. Let's know how we're applying these things in our life, how they're affecting us, how the questions we have come up. And that's why there's a live Q&A and laser coaching session component to this. This isn't just about taking a course and leaving it on the shelf. This is about getting together and enacting, enabling us and activating us in a new way. And if you can't make the call, please know this doesn't mean it's not for you. If any of this is resonating for you, it's recorded and you can listen again and again. And if you can't make the call, it's there for you. And that's why I've decided to also add a bonus one-to-one personalized visioning session, because I do know that 2:00 on a Monday afternoon in Eastern time, some of you won't be able to make. And yet I want everyone who wants to participate to be able to get the most out of this. So this is your laser focused time to go through your vision, deal with the things that are coming up from the calls and the lessons, ask your questions, and just do it in a private setting. And again, all of this is based on the Leap into Action free download, the book that I wrote at the beginning of the year. And I think it's just so incredibly timely and useful now. So please go ahead, sign up. We're going to start right now, actually. So thank you for joining me and letting me kind of like share what it is that we're doing. And with that, I want to give you some leap into action ideas right now. So by the way, if you are in the Facebook group with me, yes, people are commenting. I'm sorry, I'm kind of multitasking, managing myself. So I'm so glad you're here. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for happy birthday comments. It's really nice to see you here. Look, I can show people saying hello. So I'm so glad to see you here. And this is a real thing, so I hope that you take it seriously and participate appropriately. This is not about just acting frivolously. This is real. So yes, so thank you for being here. And if you're listening, let's take this seriously. So I want to encourage you now to think about how it is you've been acting. Have you been taking yourself in a new direction? Or have you been staying stuck? What is it that you have a question about? Is there something you're concerned about, you want to try to get some ideas? This is your time to ask a question or just say hello. And while we're doing that, I'm getting up the opportunity to share my screen. I'm doing this from my laptop, believe it or not, and so it's a little different than normal than what I'm used to. It's a brand new platform that I'm trying out. It's called StreamYard, and it's great for providing simulcast broadcasts, teaching moments, classes, things like that. I just participated in an online conference over the weekend, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to participate in that too. So I wanted to bring up my document, but I'm having trouble finding it. And I just wanted to walk us through a basic process. So we'll just walk through the process as our beginning class here. And that is this process of what would I love? So first, let's center ourselves by taking a deep breath of life in through the nose. And putting ourselves in connection with that part of us that cannot be touched by anything going on around us or even anything going on within us. There is a sacred place inside of you that is still. And practice finding it. You can find it more and more in the moment. But we breathe into this moment to put ourselves in this moment and breathe in life again, reminding ourselves that I am grateful I get to breathe. I'm grateful for this moment. And now bring to mind something that you would love an answer to, a problem, a care, a concern, and ask yourself, what is this here for me to learn in this situation? What is this problem asking me to know? There is information there if we're willing to access it. What can I do with what I have from where I am right now to take a step forward? And where am I going? What is the answer to my longing and discontent? It's what would I love? What would I love if it all worked out and I could wave a magic wand? What would it look like? And as you sit there with those answers, things will start to come to you. Those questions will percolate new ideas. I encourage you to take some time and write those ideas down. There may be new ideas, there may be familiar ideas, and there may be some combination that's going to spark a whole different direction. When you've got your list of ideas, look at it and say, what would I like to do first? What jumps out at me? What would be an action that takes me in the right direction? And again, we want to be moving towards a vision. If you don't have an idea of where you're going, no sailor can get to the destination without a direction first in mind. So once you have those ideas, how do we move ourselves to start taking those ideas, right? And take them seriously? Well, that's what we hope to explore in the next few weeks and what goes on there. But we are not just here to react. We're here to create. So let's do something different. And I appreciate you being here with me. What questions do you have? What can I help you with? Go ahead and type them in the comments over here on Facebook so I can share with you what's going on. I want you to know that you are more than anything you are facing right now in this situation. And we're all in this together. So I hope that you are having a wonderful day and that you remember that you are a creator and that you have the opportunity to create something new today. What ideas could come to you when you are willing to explore, willing to tune in, willing to turn up the volume, willing to do something different? And that's what we're exploring here together. I apologize, I got a little sidetracked here today, looking for a particular item I wanted to share. And I would love to see some high value, not just trolling comments. So let's use this time wisely. Let's use this as a community, not just somebody who wants to be flippant. Okay, this is real. This is offering a gift of service, and it is offering for you to be better. I think we have the opportunity to be better humans because of all of this. So, what can you do today to make the life of someone better? What can you do today with what you have to make yourself better? This is what we're here to do. I'm here to help you ignite the fire of your dream and move from ordinary into extraordinary. And I have so much experience and so much in depth research on so many topics that whatever it is you have a question in, I probably can help you. And that's what I'm here to do. I do want to announce one more thing. So, just as a reminder, we are doing this leap into action thing together. So I would love to invite you to go ahead and download that free document, which has some of these processes that I was starting to do with you. And I would like to encourage you to join me in this birthday deal to take 4 weeks together and walk through some content specifically around each of the letters so that you'll have a powerful process at the end. We're going to leap forward. And regardless of what you decide to do, and in addition to that, this is tomorrow, starting tomorrow at Tuesday at 10 a.m. I am planning to come to you live and help you walk through this standing firm when your world is shaking. And if you have more questions about that and you would like to know, please give me a comment or a private message, because I do not want anyone to feel like they can't get through what's happening in our world and the things that we need to do to stay safe, be well, be happy, be productive, and do it in a way that actually makes us better and the world better. Because remember, that's what I believe we're really here to do. We make a big, complicated story around what is my purpose and what is it that I'm supposed to do and how do I receive all the things and do all the things. Well, the truth is, we only have to do one thing. It's actually quite a big relief when we get to that place of being able to live and think this way. And the only thing we have to do is be right here, right now, and create something beautiful. It's pretty simple. We can have big ideas and big dreams and let them be beautiful dreams. Let them be beautiful ideas, ideas that make the world a better place. And then we can take action and leap forward beyond this. So I've been practicing this idea of radical acceptance, where there is nothing wrong in the moment, even when it feels like there's something in the level of fact and condition that isn't preferred. And sometimes it's a little scary even. We can actually breathe into the moment and there's only one thing. And what would that be? What would be the good here? What I may have to stay open to it for a long time. So we're going to stay open for that next 4 weeks. Together, 10 a.m. Tuesdays, standing firm when your world is shaking. And eventually, I may actually have a page to, just log in so we have a place to do that in a different setting. If you want to connect with me, send me a message. That's probably the best way, and then we will connect. But again, this is your day. You have the opportunity to move from react into create and you have the ability to leap into some powerful action and connection to create something new. Oh, there we go. Amy, thank you for being here and the opportunity to get some positive interaction. All right. Thank you very much for being here. Um, Amy also asks, is there a document in a list or is the list in the document? So, are you talking about the leap into action item, Amy? Yes, the list is 2020. It's actually 20 processes, well explained out, places to go, how to do it, all that sort of stuff. It's all in the document, and that I was hoping to bring it up, but I lost it in my screen. So too many things open here today. This is a new system that I'm using to try to practice with, so it is different for me. Um, let's see. Here we yeah, and the other thing that happens sometimes the internet gets a little freezing up too, so you want to always be aware of that. Um, but that's a question. Like as we all move online, how are we going to continue to have the infrastructure support? There's just so many questions that this time can bring up of uncertainty, and that's okay because this is how we start to dismantle the problems of the past, the systems of the past, the paradigm that has been the way we've been working up until now, and now we're moving into a place where we can have more just something new. What that looks like, I'm not exactly sure. And it's up to us to create it. So I'm working on pulling up the document. I'm just having a little challenge trying to find the right tabs because I'm one of those people that works with so many different things that I often have a lot of things open. If you're someone like that, go ahead and put a tab, put a comment down there because you're not alone. I have probably, I don't know, 100 different things open. Here we go. Ta-da! I found it, so now I can share it with you. But yeah, I'm using this new platform called StreamYard so that we can have live conversations together. And again, thank you, Amy, for saying yes and replying. Yay! She found it. She downloaded it. So that's this. But I'm going to share it. So, why do we want to leap into action anyway? Why do we want to center ourselves and find out what more is possible for us? What would your reason be for doing that? I know what mine is. Yeah. So this is the document that I wrote. And so I've been wanting to do more to help more people, and I really, like I said, I've been feeling like I've been called to serve the world. I have a breadth of and depth of experience and just insight and knowledge, and people who have conversations with me, they say that it's like drinking from a fire hose sometimes. So I'm always very conscious of that and trying to pull back a little, provide baby steps, simple concepts. My husband says I live at the nexus of ideas. I love that concept. So I've kind of taken that on board for the last few years. So I, at the beginning of the year, was thinking about all the things we're doing in this year 2020. Little did we even know at that time what we'd be facing. And it is a leap year anyway. So I do think this is ironic, right? We're in a leap year and here we are presented with like what seems like, well, it is crisis in order to help us leap forward. So I wrote a little thing called our 20 by 2020 action guide. And then I evolved it into this idea of leaping into action. And it's 20 things we can do to take action. So when you download it, as Amy has done, and I just want to remind you what that looks like. That, there we go. We're moving from react into create by taking action. The place that we forget the transformation really happens is in the action. So we have to generate state. We have to generate ideas because as we move our energy, we move our consciousness and we move our energy. Those are the two things we talked about from moving from react into create. We want to have 20 things to do, basically, to help us. So, this is a little guidebook that I put together, and you can go through these exercises. Again, feel free to perform these any time in the year in the order that they're presented or not. You think of it as like a challenge. How many can I accomplish? Could I do all 20? And you don't have to do them all in one day, obviously. And it's fun to keep track of your progress. Keep a journal, something to show how you're changing and evolving, and just to know which ones did I work on, which ones did I like, which ones seem to have the biggest impact in my life. And most of all, we want to have fun. Have fun with this because mastery is a process, it's not an event. And this is going to happen over time and space. Just like we're going to deal with the coronavirus and the COVID 19 over time, we have to stretch that timeline out. And that's why you're being a hero by staying at home. That's why you're being a hero when you're washing your hands and you're being aware of how am I feeling in my body. We want to be doing these things to protect ourselves and each other and show love. So we want to celebrate our wins. There's a whole bunch of things, steps here to help us review and reflect what's going on and what would we really love going forward. Some great practices. We have a place where we can make room for and move some energy because that's very important. What does that look like? We have some ideas of giving in order to receive, and that includes forgiveness. How do we praise the things and those around us? How do we bless the hurt and turn it into something more powerful? So here's a few ideas or practices and ideas to go through that. And again, as you can see, I actually spent time writing these out so that you should be able to just follow each practice and just spend a day with it and see what, or a week or whatever you would like. And then we want to dream and grow our vision, dream big and grow our vision. So there's some practices kind of like what we're doing right now, connecting. And anytime anyone wants to set up a strategy session with me, we can go deeper. And there's a link to do that. And then let's commit to these ideas. Let's commit to our change and our evolution. Let's create something new. Let's create continuity. And how do we do that? And here, this is number 20 on the list. Is a multi-step process. So you may want to take more than one bits of time to go through that. But know that your words of wisdom matter. And as a bonus, I did create a space where you can have 21. And this is your make up your own idea. I'd love to hear what you have to think about that and, kind of debrief what the process felt like, whether you do it with us in the class or just separately on your own. I do have a challenge group created so you can experiment and share in there. It's very tight knit, so you don't have to worry about feeling unsafe. There's not very many people in there right now, so feel free to go and check that out. I would love to have you join us because we're going to go through each of these things. And as a little preview, I will just do a quick share here about what those leap into action ideas for the longer course is going to be like. So I'll just pop us back over here. And we started the first one a little bit today already. So know that you're on the right track. You're on the right track. We're going to start with the letter, and I have a whole lesson planned on what does it mean to leap. I'm trying to find a good one. Good place. Here we go. To leap by looking before we leap. There's a whole way, a special way of looking before we leap. There's a particular way we want to be in our heart space and a way of using our physical eyes and our spiritual eyes to see the world a certain way so that because before we jump into anything or into anywhere, we need to know where the heck we're going. So we're going to look before we leap. We're going to talk about that. E, the letter E, the second week, we're going to spend time talking about how do we bring the energy into what it is we're doing and the particular kind of energy that we must have in order to move ourselves forward. The particular kind of energy and how to hold that energy in a solid state way so that we can be the most centered, most powerful, most inspirational, most creative, most focused that we can be. All of us are working from home. We want to do this in a way that we're not feeling drained at the end of the day. And we want to do it in a way that we can also, help our kids with their homework or whatever, because they're needing to learn these skills too. So think about that. How can we bring this into what they're doing? And then we're going to spend a week talking about the concept and practices around adjusting our altitude. So if we're going to be taking a leap forward, we don't want to just go forward. We want to, what's a leap? It's a jump, right? And a quantum leap in particular. We want to move to a whole nother level of existence, a whole nother plane. And that requires us jumping not just forward, but also how high are we jumping? So adjusting our altitude is what that third week is going to be about, and a whole mindset practice, as well as some everyday tactical, practical ways of going through our day so that we're adjusting our altitude in a way that matches where it is we're trying to go. Because remember, we have looked before we leaped to begin with. And it's going to take energy to get us off the ground anyway and adjust that altitude. So we need to also be having our energy match that and bringing that up to a higher level of a higher vibration. And I'll give you a little secret clue. There's another A word that goes along with this, and that is our attitude. It's very important. That's sort of our meter. And we'll talk more about that and how do we adjust our altitude with our attitude, just like there's an attitude adjustment on a plane. Interesting story. We'll get to that on the third week. And then P, the fourth week, is about planting our feet firmly in the ground when we land. We want to stick that landing like a gymnast, right? We've taken all this time to look before we leap, to practice the energy of what it's going to take to move us, to get off of inertia and into momentum, right? We've looked at how high through the adjusting our altitude and our attitude, and now we want to land. We want to land firmly in the ground, Olympic style, planting our feet in the ground in a certain way, and that's what that fourth week is about. So that's why it's so important to come together and do it in a way that we have group engagement, Q&A calls, all that fun stuff, so that you're not doing this alone. We're doing this with support and empowerment. And of course, the bonus vision session that I am offering everyone to. So go to the link that is on the screen, which is bit.ly link, bit.ly/leap-mini-course 2020. Those dashes are important. And go ahead and sign up. And we're going to be doing 2:00 on Mondays, just like we're doing here, to help us out. And we're not going to be doing it in such a public forum. I'm going to be honest about that. We're going to use my private teleconference line. So I may or may not be online like this because I want to be having this be a safe and sacred place where we can share and really make the transformational shifts that we need to. So I am so happy and grateful that you're here. Just absolutely thrilled. Whether you're listening now or in the replay, I hope you type it in that you've been here so that we can all celebrate each other and go through this together. Any last questions? I see there are still people watching. Thank you for being here. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help you. I do have lots going on, and I feel like I'm busier than ever, and I think that's a good thing. It is learning to juggle, though. How do we do this, and how do we navigate the frustrations of the day and be present in the moment? That's all we can do. There's only one thing here happening here. It is for us to have this life, whatever it is. So let's make it a good one. Let's decide that I'm going to keep myself safe and I'm going to keep my family safe and I'm going to navigate the challenges in a way that if I mess up, right, I'm off track. I can forgive myself. I can ask for forgiveness. I can Be grateful that I am breathing. I honestly, from what I am learning more and more, be grateful you can breathe. Be grateful because COVID-19 messes your breathing up a lot. So when people get sick, they get really, really sick. And so we want to stay well, stay healthy, stay home, and know that you're loved. Know that we're here for a purpose. And no matter what's happening, your world might be shaking, but you're not alone and we can do this. Even when you're sick, even when you're faced with diagnosis, even when we're faced with pandemic news, even when we're faced with changing and ever evolving paradigms. This is our chance to step up and evolve ourselves and our families and our society and our collective conscious as a planet into something new. And we're just at the beginning. We're only a week and a few days into this here in my state of Michigan. So I will share here that 10 o'clock on Tuesdays, I'm going to be coming live in this kind of a platform so that we can do some live stuff. I'm going to be ready for you. We're going to go through some content. I'm not going to do it the way I normally do a 4-week program or something. It's going to be a little more relaxed, but I'm going to take some of these key insights and we're going to stretch it out over however long we need to keep moving forward with this idea that we can stand firm, we can tame the chaos and be the eye of the storm. It is a practice, it takes time, it takes repetition. And so we're going to start tomorrow at 10 a.m. together. And for those of you who want the accelerated version, you're going to be joining me. We're going to do the deep dive with the Leap Forward mini course that I was doing anyway. So make sure you sign up for that. And I'll be seeing you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And remembering this, the content of your life is the curriculum for your evolution. And there's another quote I don't have typed in here, but I want to share with you. And that is the idea that within every adversity, there is the seed for some benefit, equal or greater still. And that's really important for us to know that whatever's happening within every adversity, there is the seed of a benefit equal or greater still. So imagine what's possible for our world. Imagine what's possible if we hang in there together, if we listen to smart people, if we put aside politics and practice patience, come from a place of compassion and kindness. Imagine what is possible for our world. We must move from react into create. And just as another reminder, it's the theme of the day, but it cannot be said enough. How do you transform react into create? We take that C right out of the middle of react and we move it to the front. That is our consciousness, right? We're going to move our consciousness to the front of the line, to the front of our daily experience, to the front of how we're coming to the world. Our awareness and the tools that we're using to navigate this experience called life. And then we're going to add an E at the end. Just why? We can do that. It's energy. E is the energy that we're all a part of on a quantum level, the energy that we're all already vibrating at in all of our atoms, the energy that you're deciding to bring with your energy of the day. How did you sleep? How did you rest? How did you take care of yourself? The energy of our mental mindset, all of that is coming into what we're doing today. And that is how you move from react to create in a nutshell. Because this is your moment. This is it. This is your life, and you get to create something special with the curriculum. We think that the kids are the only ones doing homeschooling, but we forget we're doing life schooling. This is this is life school 101, or maybe 401 at this point. So just know that you can do this, and we're in it together, and we're going to leap forward. And I invite you to join me in that experiment with my birthday special. And that's how you do that at the bit.ly leap-mini course, mini-course 2020. And just as a final note, I'll be back here at 10 a.m. standing firm together. Please bring your questions. Please be ready. And stay tuned. Stay tuned and be a part of this transformational process for yourself and for the world. All right. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being a part of my day. I really appreciate you. Amy says, have a great day. I couldn't agree more. Go ahead and give yourself a big high five. Whoa. A little pat on the back because you were here. We did this. So thanks a lot. And we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Talk to you later.